help and who not to help, and how to give and who to give. So we have to be led by the spirit of who we should be giving to, and not giving to somebody who's too lazy to work. To me, when I meet somebody on the street and they are actually at Walmart or either on the corner, I said, "What do you do for a living? What happened that you don't have a job?" I'll ask them, and then they'll tell me sometimes what's going on. And the story jive, then I'm okay with it. If it don't, then I'll just shake my head. Say, I can't help you or something like that. But anyway, moving on. The Sabbath. The Sabbath is a concept based on God's actions during His creation. He formed the world in 6 days, and He rested on the seventh. And in this day, He dedicated it to rest, to worship, reflection on our sovereign God. Wow. Rest, worship, reflection on our sovereign God. Worship. This morning's introduction, we looking at my highlights. It started off with a question. How do you feel about the work that you do each day or each week? How do you feel? How do we feel about our work? So whether it's be it school, a regular job, a volunteer, work means different things to different people. And often it's more than just a task. It's a part of the things that we do, how we define ourselves. Well, my job is this because you got a title, or my job is that because I'm taking care of this. Whatever you do is defined as your work. Pastor, teacher, mother. Mother's work. I found out being a mother is a job. And if anybody that think it's not a job, then you better think again. Many men, I say, that think mother's just okay. You just do housewife. No. Really quick story. Married a lady that was from Thailand, and she had to come back to the States to do her swearing-in ceremony in Washington, D.C., and I was stationed in Germany. And I had to keep the kids for 2 weeks. Combing that Maxine's hair, dressing Jason, getting him dressed, and getting him to either daycare or either to school, and then getting ready to go to the Army to do the job all day, and then getting back out of them and come picking them up at wherever they were. That, for 2 weeks, I told Ann, and washing clothes and feeding them at the same time. I said, Ann, I'm sorry, I will never tell you that you don't do nothing but housework again. You're just a housewife. I had to apologize. But anyway, it is work. It is work. Today's lesson we examine, why work is more than just it's to survive, but it's a calling. Our work is a calling. For Christians, it's a calling. It's a part of being a Christian, living the Christian life. Useful work as a Christian duty. This morning's title, it helps us to understand the work from a God's point of view, and it shows us how our faith and how we honor God, and we love how love is actually put to action, in contrast to idle and actually contrary to God's purpose. Idleness is actually contrary to God's purpose. In the storytelling, God reveals His plan to people who work from the very beginning. From the very beginning. That's found in Exodus 20 and 9. And that was a part of this morning's lesson. What did it say in 20 and 9? I want to go over that real quick from my Bible. In Exodus 2, and I think I'm looking at, was it 9? No, it wasn't 2 from 9. Let me get back where I was. Exodus 20 and 9, we learned, and that's where I was at in storytelling. Exodus 20 and 9 is where I was. God learned, he told us in 6 days what we're going to rest, work 6 days, that's where I was. Work 6 days. Thou shalt work 6 days. And that was a commandment. That was a commandment, one of the 10 commandments. I think it was the 9th commandment that we work 6 days and rest on the 7th day. And because that day God has blessed. And in John 5:17 and 7:9, Jesus come along and confirmed. He actually affirmed God's plan that work of what we're supposed to work. And it's going to be a part of this morning's lesson. And then Thessalonians, we get a testimony from Paul in the 2 Thessalonians, a testimony from Paul that how he worked out his salvation. And also in storytelling, work a part of God's plans is for his people. In Genesis 2:15, as we look at Genesis 2:15, the word says, "And God took man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it." Now, as we know, and we know the creation story, that how God created man after his own image and after his likeness. Just before that happened, in doing creation, God saw that there wasn't a man to till the ground before it ever rained. That the mist come up out of the ground, and it was actually watering the earth. The purpose was watering the earth. So God knew that something was going to go on. If water come down, and he had already gave seeds to grow and produce after their likeness, after their kind, somebody needed to be there to take care of those things. So this was man's purpose. It was to be a good steward of the earth and take care of the garden. God planted that garden of Eden, and he put man in the garden. That's what the word says. And he put him in there to tend it. And that's why the verse I just read there was he put him in there and to actually to take care of the garden. That was man's purpose, but then it's a deeper purpose. I'm glad you asked me. The purpose in which God placed man in the garden